If kids are abandoned, the society takes over. It is the duty of the society to take over this role. It now becomes a direct role to the society to see that these kids are brought out to the acceptable standards of a given society. And in many cases, orphans, abandoned children receive parental care from non-parents. They receive parental care from non-parents, without blood relations. You need to take note of that. That others may be adopted, others may be taken to orphanages. There are so many experiences there, basing on the environment, basing on how knowledgeable the environment can, the knowledge the environment can offer to them, the guardians and all to do in this regard. So on many occasions, parenting skills varies. Parenting skills varies, and a parent with good parenting skills may be referred to as a good parent. Parenting styles vary by historical time and period. We need to consider that parenting styles vary by historical period and time. Race, ethnicity, social class, and other social features. One of the research came up with a conclusion that has supported that parent history, both in terms of attachment and vary in quality, as well as parental psychopathology, particularly in the work of adverse experience, can strongly influence parental sensitivity and the child outcome. We need to consider that in this noble duty to parent the children of the society, to parent the children of God, to parent, because at the end of the time, we are answerable. At the end of the time, we are answerable, because children have owed us a duty of stewards. We are stewards. God has given us the gifts of these children so that we can tame them, we can mold them in line with His will, so that at the end of the day, His name may be glorified. That is so important. On many occasions, Christian parenting or Christian parents may wish to blend every of their child, in Christianity. And we see that there are some external forces that, that get exerted to our parents, basing on their thinking and perspective on how best they can raise these kids as better Christians. But the external forces, when they are exerted on these kids, then the duty tends to be vague. And to bring it out, it becomes a very difficult task. Christian parents face a difficult task. In other words, they face a difficult task of raising children in the world of correctness. On many occasions, Christian parents think that when they bear these kids, they are already Christians. They are already Christians. And it becomes so difficult to them, to put a demarcation, to realize that it needs a bit of their time and of their knowledge, a bit of nurturing of these kids to become true Christians like they want them to be. So for them, when they bear them, they think that they are already Christians, yet we need to impart in them the norms and the principles of Christianity so that they can become better Christians. In the past, children grew up in a society that clearly defined what was right and what was wrong. But now it is a mixture. We live in an environment where other forces are exerted on how our parents must be brought up. And some of them are inevitable because that is the way to go. That is what the world has offered to them. But we need to be there to direct them so that they can be brought up in accordance to how the Christianity demands of them. That is so important. Parents were recognized as the primary authority way back when that was realized, that parents were considered as the primary authority figure in the children's life. Now, as the world conforms, our children react unprecedented immorality and family and parent concepts in schools and media. Parents show increasing concern as their children are encouraged to shun strict rules and biblical truth. We need to know that during this time, there are so many forces in line with media, in line with what the community offers, the society offers to our kids, and they are so deviant. It is possible that they may divert our Christian teachings, our biblical truth, and they are shunned away from the truth of the Bible, and they are taken up with what is trending as we speak now. That is so important to consider. Whenever the application of God's law is mentioned, a few layers of organization wants parents not to impose their own values upon their children. Here comes human rights. That as a parent, you don't need to dictate to your child. You need to give him the liberty to decide for himself. And in this case, the biggest force that is exerted to our children is what takes over. So we need to take note of that as we carry out this duty of parenting, let us consider other pressures, other factors, other external factors that are exerted onto our children, so that we can make an alarm to them, so that we don't shun them away directly, but we need to harmonize the two situations so that our children may strike a balance in the two spheres, because that is the way to go. So human rights has taken a center stage in condemning parents on how better their children must be brought about, and it's so important that even the church, Christianity, the Bible demands us, to apply the appropriate way on how we must balance up our kids to appear as children of substance in accordance to the will of God. So that is so, we must consider that.